Welcome to the Dream Party Hotel, a place of hospitality for your dreams because you can't sleep when you are dead. This is how to interpret a dream, where I will show you step by step the structure and language format that I use to interpret any and all dreams. Not all dreams beg interpretation, and in that case, I will just give my commentary to the best of my ability. I don't claim to be an authority on what anyone's dream means, that is up to them. For this reason, I speak in the first person I, and always when I give commentary or interpretation, I start with the phrase, if this were my dream, and continue to speak in the first person I. So if you think it's weird that I'm doing that, this is why. It leaves the authority of the dream in the hands of the dreamer. Only you know what your dreams mean, and I'm just here to give my feedback and help from a frequent flyer, so to speak. So I will walk you through my step by step of how what I use to interpret a dream, and you can follow along. You can write these prompts down. You can use them on your own dreams, and I would also invite you to play along with me. So as I read the dream, pay attention, listen closely as I go through the prompts that have been answered for me by the dreamer already. Pay attention and listen closely. And then when I get to the end, you can pause the video and give your own interpretation of the dream, and then we can compare. If you want to write your own interpretation or commentary on the dream in comments below, then we can all compare and contrast notes. And I ask, if you do so, please also follow the rule of speaking and referring only to yourself in the first person I. Here we go. This dream is called A Magical Sanctuary. So I'm going to read the dream now. Listen closely. I'm hiking with Aaron up a stream, and it reminds me of the Yuba River. It's rocky, and there are trees surrounding it. There's a woman walking at our same place, but she's not with us. We get to a clearing that's really pretty, and I ask Aaron to stand there for a moment and face me so I can take a picture of her. But the woman decides to stop right there and breastfeed. I feel annoyed that she's there in general. I did not see a baby, but then a friend of the woman pops up out of nowhere. Me and Aaron are confused about where her friend came from. I decide not to take the picture even if the woman offers to move, and instead we keep walking. We make it to a cave-like structure, and it feels like a sanctuary. The sanctuary is a mix of red and orange stone. Also, there are some glass sections where you can see the water that I assume is from the river where we were just walking. I move quickly through this space, wanting to see the whole area. The floor feels smooth like butter, letting me quickly get from one place to another, like I'm skating. I love it, and I tell Aaron it's the most beautiful place I've ever been. There are what seems like projections on the walls as well. No definite shapes, but crystal-like pastel colors. Erin then tells me that she has to drive back east, and I look at the map to see if there's some place she can drop me off so that I can take my flight back to Italy. I tell her the closest to the east coast the better, like Atlanta or something would be perfect, but she doesn't think she can make it in time. I say somewhere in the Midwest, but then the only big international airport I can recognize on the map is Chicago. I think I need to change my ticket departure city, but then I realize I don't have a return ticket at all, and I think it's just about staying longer. For any dream, I ask a same set of questions, always starting with the title. The title of this dream, which I've said already, is A Magical Sanctuary. The second question I always ask in any dream is, what was the feeling upon waking? How did one feel when they woke up? I ask this question to give hints. Mainly, it hints towards any time sensitivity or a very vitally important information. Most usually dreams are fairly neutral, but when dreams are come with an emotional tag of being extraordinarily exciting, either to the positive or negative, we always want to take note to that. because these dreams are usually pointing at our soul path and purpose, a major decision, a major crossways, or out the physical survival of our bodies. The feeling upon waking for this dream was that I felt in awe from the sanctuary. It was really beautiful and magical. I had a series of other dreams this same night, but this is the feeling that I particularly remember upon waking when thinking of this portion of the dream I had. The third question I always ask was, did you have an intention for dreaming? In this case, the answer was no. The fourth question I always ask is, could any of this dream happen in your waking future? This dream is not, is it probable? It more so, is it possible? A lot of people confuse probable with possible. This question is it possible to happen in your waking future, whether it's probable or not? This question is designed to weed out literal from symbolic content so we never surpass literal content with symbology alone. Since dreams are designed for our survival primarily, then if I have a dream where I walk outside of my house and get hit by a car, I always want to take it literally before I jump into the symbology of it. In this case, the future check is yes, I could hike with Aaron and I could decide to change my travel plans. The next question I always ask is to give background context in as much detail as possible. People, places, things, dynamic, relational dynamics, emotional themes, etc. In this case, Erin is my best friend. She lives in California and I live in Italy. We enjoy hiking and spending time in nature when we are together. Before bed, I was looking at flights to visit her, but I don't think I will be able to anytime soon. But I very much desire to do so. The last question is, what do you want to know about this dream, or what was the most interesting detail? This question is designed to make a pinpoint of focus, especially for dreams which are really long and have a lot of content. In this case, the part of the dream that struck me the most is the sanctuary. So I would say then, to rephrase it in my own words, I want to know about the sanctuary. Now, in this process, we move on to feedback. So anybody listening to the dream, in this case, myself or yourself, you can pause the video now and make your own commentary, feedback, and interpretation. This isn't about giving a perfect interpretation or having necessarily an interpretation at all. It's really about mirroring back reflections, things that came up while you were listening to the dream. It could be your own memories, it could be your own impressions, it could be something you learned yesterday or so and so. You would be surprised at the things that can be the key to someone's understanding or deeper understanding of a dream. It's not necessarily always a full interpretation. So when you're playing this game, be sure to let whatever came up for you come out. And when you keep it in the first person I, you don't have to worry about projecting, and you don't have to worry about getting the right answer, because we're just speaking about ourselves, and then the dreamer can choose whichever information they would like to internalize or pass along. So for me, the magical sanctuary, if this were my dream, I see both literal and symbolic content in it. I think it is more literal than symbolic. Obviously, there's a lot of literal content, and that was answered by the dreamer insofar as it is very literal that he could do all of these things in his waking future. But I also see symbolic content that I thought was interesting, and that could be both symbolic and literal at the same time. Most dreams are symbolic and literal at the same time. Sometimes dreams are more one way than the other. This dream to me is kind of like a 50-50 split. So let's start from the beginning. If this were my dream, the first thing I thought about when reading this dream was the woman. So there's a woman who is getting in my way and it's annoying me, and it's really random. This woman, to me, and if this were my dream, this woman is playing the role of a trickster guide. So, a guide in the form of a trickster, as in, she is actually, in the end, guiding me and pushing me past the place where I thought that I wanted to be to a place that is much better. And the only way she was able to do this is through tricking me, through actually annoying me, and that kept me moving on. Because in the dream, we're supposed to go to this one spot we have in mind to enjoy the river. And instead, this woman is just kind of here, and she's in the way, and she's getting in the way of our photo, and she's getting in the way of our peace, and she's just close to us, and it's too close and it's annoying. And this is the reason that we push forward and keep going. And what we find when we keep going and push forward is something way better than we would have expected. So this is a great symbolic aspect of the trickster. I would say in this dream, the woman is not here to just get in my way. And a lot of times in life, obstacles are like this. A lot of time, obstacles aren't just to get in our way and fuck up our day and annoy us and make us late and throw all of our plans off. They're actually here to rearrange our reality, to force us into different perspectives, to force us into higher perspectives, and to force us to go with the flow as reality rearranges itself. And a lot of the times, um, I would like to think that reality is always pushing us towards something better. And so, if a lot of the times obstacles are in our way to force us into something better and force us beyond our everyday small minded sense of what we want, what we desire, and what's good for us, and force us into something better. Um, in this case, it is certainly true. The trickster guide is pushing me forward past my original plans, um, onwards to a place much better than I had originally envisioned for myself. I think this happens a lot. So I would ask myself, if I were to apply even just this small message anywhere in my life, could I see this anywhere in my life? Is there anywhere in my life that I keep running into obstacles or difficulties? Or actually, I would say, look, keep this in mind for the future. Um, and in the future, the near future, the farther future, when I'm traveling, when I'm on a hike, when I'm on a path, when I'm on a new path, when I'm on a new travel plan, make sure to look out for these obstacles, for these little hiccups or little. This is quite benign, also. It's not like something, an obstacle like an injury or an accident. This is just a woman being annoying. So look out for even the small, benign obstacles. And instead of getting tied up in them, see if there are opportunities within and around what I might initially perceive as an obstacle could be an opportunity to be led or discover something much greater than I had originally intended or envisioned for myself. Um, I wrote obstacles as gifts in disguise. Where is this happening now? Or will happen in the future? Where can I laugh, let go, relax around knowing that what's meant for me may be better than my small self with my routines, roles, and expectations can imagine. Then there's a friend who pops up out of nowhere, this woman's friend, and I have a moment, my friend and I have a moment of being confused. That confusion is really key because if this were my dream, that confusion is a moment where I could have become lucid in the dream and awoken to the fact that I was dreaming. So I would say to apply this to my waking life or my ordinary life, I would say within within an encounter with an obstacle or an annoyance or a hiccup on a path, if I can look past it or move past it and go beyond, I might, even if I'm confused, that confusion could be actually a trigger for me to wake up to a deeper understanding of my reality or what's going on, or a message for me in my waking life right now. We can see how this is all arranging to lead me to an awakening and a place better than I could have imagined. Um, so I would, yeah, confusion in dreams, um, being able to um, recognize when things are out of place, when things don't make sense, when things are out of the linear cause and effect timeline, is basically how most of us become lucid. And becoming lucid really means awakening to the deeper reality, or a deeper understanding of reality, of what's going on. This happens both in dreams when we become aware of the dream, but it happens in waking life when we have revelations, when things all piece together in a way that brings us those light bulb moments, when everything falls into place that could have just been scattered or misunderstood beforehand. So I see a lot of awesome opportunities in this dream. And we haven't even gotten to the good part yet. And there's already so many opportunities and um, interesting encounters. Anyways. So lastly, now we come upon the sanctuary, the magical sanctuary. Um, This reminds me of a dream journey that I once wrote, in which guided, um, I created a guide to go into the imagination and a waking dream journey and discover in what you or one would then continue to rediscover, revisit, and design as an inner sanctuary. This would be a real and existent place in the imaginaire, to borrow from the French, as in a place that has been made by and exists in the imagination, but does not mean it is any less real than our ordinary waking experiences. And this is an inner sanctuary, which is basically a place that I can visit and revisit over and over again, that I can design, that I can add to more each and every time, that I can have change depending on my needs, that I go and revisit for healing, for devotional acts, to give offerings, to seek guidance, to seek restoration and regeneration, to regenerate my energy, and for whatever a sanctuary then one would use a sanctuary for. Um, the more we visit these exact locations that we build in our imagination, the more solidified they become. And they start to take on a life of their own and a reality of their own, and start to build and grow alongside us and in their own organic way. It's really interesting to experience. So, if this were my dream, I would use this image and as the portal or initial image of my own inner sanctuary. This is a place, again, this is a place I can revisit time and time again, as often as I would like, and to really utilize and enjoy and take care of and design and build. And this is the way I would honor this dream. Dreams like that, as it was described, it's awe inspiring. There's energy to it. There's passion here. There's beauty here. And it's a chance for us to use this energy and passion and beauty and draw that into our lives so that we can utilize it in whichever ways we please. And one way to continue to utilize the energy from a dream, which can be endless, especially in the form of a sanctuary with water and stone. It's made of earth, it is regenerative. There's orange and red stones, which to me can symbolize fire. It has all of the elements here. This is a place that naturally sustains on its own and naturally regenerates. And if I can keep the image alive and keep revisiting the energy and giving a little to it and taking a little to it, then this is a place that I can use and utilize for however long I want. And that can keep giving and giving and giving. This is how we keep a dream alive. This is how we bridge the gap between waking and dreaming and become lucid in all parts of our lives. One way I've heard a sanctuary described that I really liked was that a sanctuary is a place to build compassion for the human condition through devotional acts that put you in contact with the deeper mysteries. So, this is the definition that I would bring into a sanctuary and that I would remember each time I went and visited the sanctuary. So yes, if this were my dream, I would take this is the part that I would take very literally. I would take this as a literal place that I can go and visit within my imagination and grow and call my own. And that is all to say, in the meantime, before I could actually maybe fulfill these plans in my ordinary life and go traveling to California and to the Yuba River and see what I find. Um, there's an interesting it ends again with more trickster energy, wherein I'm trying to get a flight home, and the plans aren't working out. She can't drive me here, she won't make it in time. It's all about timing. In my ordinary life, I say I would like to come and visit this actual place, the Yuba River, etc., but I don't know if the timing is right or the timing works out. So it's interesting, there's all these tricky things going in time. So I might say that I might go here, I might be here sooner than I might think, since time seems to be very tricky right now, since there's a lot of tricky rearranging in terms of time and space within this energy and within this dream. I would say that maybe I can fulfill this desire sooner than I might plan. But in the meantime, I can start right now. I don't have to wait. There is no home ticket. I don't have a plane ticket home. I'm out where I'm at. So there's actually nothing I need to do to visit this sanctuary. I can go there right now and whenever I please. For any and all dreams, this format, these questions, these prompts, and this feedback process is designed to orient you, the dreamer, to make an action plan, to design a plan of action to honor this dream. The action plan draws the energy of the dream into our waking world so that we can continue to utilize it. It can continue to grow and expand and grow organically alongside us in its own timing and fashion. And again, like I just said, it bridges the gap between sleeping and waking. And eventually, this bridge can be used for our waking consciousness to travel into the dreaming, and we can be awake in all ends of our lives. So, if this were my dream, which action would I take to honor this dream? Would I call up this friend and make a time? Would I go seek out a red and orange stone to buy to hold the energy of this sanctuary with me in my waking life? Put it on an altar, put it near my bed or in a special place? Would I go and use my active imagination and dream journey back into this dream and continue to build this